Hey, what's up? Welcome to Distortion Report, your weekly dose of heavy music news that you get every single Monday morning. Today is 12/12/2022. We're covering everything that happened this last week. Make sure you follow so that you get notified every Monday morning about a new episode. I'm Johnny McBee.
It's your boy Hardcore KEEM.
Let's get into the hot topic for the day.
Today's hot topic, as you know, it's been circulating the internet. AI art. Everybody's been using the Lens app to make yourself into some the anime. You got the mythological. But we're gonna talk about that. But we're also gonna talk about AI art for album work.
Yes,
Uh,
because a lot of people have been using Midjourney as well, which is a Discord bot that allows you to generate random art as well.
Yeah, so as you know, one of the big bands, August Burns Red, recently have been getting flack on Twitter for, I guess, a AI generated album artwork for their newest album. People's like, hey, why don't you guys just pay an artist? What happened to paying an artist? You guys make all this money. You guys should be paying an artist to do the work. Why are you getting that AI to do it? What are your thoughts on that? Like, what do you feel about AI
Well,
generated art?
I actually didn't look at the August Burns Red thing. Did they confirm that it was AI art, or did it just look like it?
So that's the thing. It's some people were saying, "Hey, somebody actually did the art and just took inspiration from Mid Journey," and then some people was like, "Oh, it's totally AI generated." So
Yeah.
it's not even confirmed. The band is, as far as I know, the band didn't even say anything
Well,
about it.
Midjourney does have a very particular look whenever you generate these images. So I've done a lot of this AI art stuff because I do think it's really interesting and um, also a tool that people can use if they want to be able to, at least get maybe concepts for art or maybe get some ideas for stuff or even, yeah, sure, use it for an album art.
I think who cares? It's the artist. You know, it's ultimately the artist's decision. Like, why are you pocket watching the artist? Like, if they want to do, if they want to take a picture with their phone and have that as the album art, that's what they want to do. Oh, it's not up to you to decide how they do their album. It's like
Yeah.
it's Twitter. You know how Twitter is. Is if you don't have it exactly how they want it, then everything
Yeah.
goes up in flames.
Yeah, but to play devil's advocate with it, these are, if we're talking specifically about bands using AI to generate their art, it would be, I guess, almost like a band like generating their melody with an album art. You're kind of using a robot to generate something creative, whereas you should have just used your creative forces yourself. But to be fair, like Midjourney, there is kind of a skill to it to a degree, in the sense of you can't just type in like, a comet hitting the planet and then expect it to generate something really cool because it could be jacked. You can then like pick and choose, and so you kind of do a selective thing, and you have to be a little more descriptive. And you, a lot of people are using it. They're basically like, say, generate a planet, right? That a purple planet with a lot of oceans, and then they'll get that, and then they'll edit that out, and then they'll generate another thing and combine the two. And so they kind of use this to generate assets that they then combine into other stuff. Just like if how many freaking album arts are made from stock footage that someone buys off of iStock for $15?
The most I think the most overused stock image, like you said, is it's everywhere. You know the picture of like the back that's like super like the person's like malnourished and you can see their spine.
Okay, yeah.
I've seen that bands use that so many times, you know, and then I remember it was like a couple years, it was like a year or two ago. A band was like, "Oh, you stole our band image, like you stole the image." It's like, no, you guys both got it from stock.
Yeah.
Like, stop it.
Yeah. Or like, some a band might have a picture that someone took of like a big church, and then they will download that picture and edit some freaking bats flying behind it and some lightning in the thing. They didn't take that photo, you know? Someone else took
Exactly.
that photo. And so but and then okay, so then let's talk about the artist supporting artist thing. Like, um there are a lot of artists that do rely on bands for their income. There are artists that only do band art, you know? And so this is something that will for sure inevitably get to the point that it is better for, not better for, but cheaper, more efficient for artists to use. So like the Lenza one, like I did some images of myself on it, and because who didn't? And so I did some of myself, and it really did create a lot of different options of pictures of me that were super high detailed. They looked really cool. It was like cool, like thematic of it and everything. And I could not pay a digital artist to paint me that well for less than $500 to a grand. You know, for
True.
and so just from a standpoint of like, hey, I have a project I'm working on. I would like to have cool artwork, but I don't have $1,000 to invest into just the actual single artwork. Um, like this is something that makes sense to be able to do. 100%, I think so.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Why people pocket watch it? You don't know how people funds are, especially bands. People don't know what's going on behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
or it's just I don't feel like people should write off the band just because if they decide to use AI artwork. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like just let people do what they do. Um, the world is always progressive. That's what I'm saying. AI is going to be a huge. It's going to be huge in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Like we already
Yeah,
have self driving cars, so
yeah. And I had one of my friends that I had wrote some music with a few years ago. He was a coder, and he actually did program a he programmed his own little thing that basically you could just click a button and it would just print you an entire song of like drum MIDI. Like because he had different beats that were kind of like had a certain amount of probability of showing up and whatnot. And he could just hit print and then drag the MIDI into the software and then have a full song up that's structured and everything of drums. He never released it or anything. He just used it for himself. At some point, we are going to 100% have software that you hit print and it just like has a pop song just finished because it's so structured and it's so general. And they'll just be able to sit there, generate like 200 of them and then pick and choose. So beat makers will be gone, you know? And that's fine. Like we're already going towards that. So the inevitability like of just a full AI generation is close. But here's the thing. Like I said, there's a way to be creative within this. Like just like how there's so many big producers that do some of the biggest songs that you would hear today, they just drag in like chords that are already made. They drag it in and then they affect it. Now, if they drag those chords in and didn't affect it, then no one would think it was good. Just like if I just typed in some random phrase into Mid Journey, no one would think it was good because I would just get the base product, you know? And so there's a way to utilize this that does make it creative. And so I think that that very much is something that we can go into the future and see a lot of people taking advantage of. And it's just going to allow more and more people to become creative as well.
exactly. Well, we gave you our thoughts. Let us know what you guys think down below if you guys are watching on YouTube, or shoot us a message. What do you think about the AI? What do you think about AI album art? What do you think about AI driving? Like, what do you think about this whole robots taking over? Are we gonna have an iRobot situation? Who knows? You see that robot, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, cool. So if let us know where we going in the future. Next, we're gonna get into our topics for this week, starting with Bless the Fall. I know you haven't heard that name in about a decade, probably about 2016. Um, Bless the Fall. Every band member has removed the band name out of their bio. Johnny, what do you think about this?
So, I mean, yeah, Bless the Fall, they have been like semi inactive, but some of the last music they put out was actually really, really good. For a standard metalcore band like this. And I mean, I we toured the Browning toured with Bless the Fall in 2010, I think 2011, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Uh, and even then, those dudes, they're dudes that kind of had their getting their lives together, getting married and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure that there's two things here. Either they're all just old now and don't necessarily give a crap, which I would not blame anyone for. Once you get kids and a life, like it's kind of hard to really care about your high school metalcore project, so that's understandable. But especially with COVID caused that for a lot of artists.
Yep.
But the way they're doing it, I don't think this is a breakup. 100%. I do not think this is some sort of breakup like announcement or anything like that. So yeah, they all removed the band out of their profiles, and then someone noticed it, tweeted it, and then one of the band members or the band itself like retweeted the person noticing it. Like they did no statement. They just retweeted the fact that someone noticed that, and so it seems like something they're trying to build some hype for. They removed all the posts off Instagram. They took down their website. All this stuff. I think this is some sort of hype build.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think they're going to do that and just come back in 2023. I think because they was probably waiting for their time, but so many bands came back in 2022 since everything like reopened. It was like, you know what, we want to be the stars of the show, so we're gonna come back when nobody else is coming back, so we could be even bigger than before. So I think
So
that's what we're gonna
party.
do. I mean,
Yeah,
it's one of those high school bands everyone grows up listening to. So I don't think they'll just completely wipe off the face of the earth without saying anything. You know what I'm saying? So I think they'll be like, hey, you know what? We did our time. We released our music. Now it's time for us to be with our family. And if it
exactly.
was like that, they would definitely give us a heads up. But
Exactly.
they'll be back
Yeah, and
for sure.
like I know this was a long time ago that I toured with them. It was over a decade ago, but they all were like nice dudes and all got along. They didn't have drama. Like there's some bands that I toured with that long ago that I see them break up. I'm like, yeah, of course. Like y'all had drama. Bless Fall's not that case, And so yeah, I think that Bless the Fall, I think this is some sort of hype build or like a lull before the storm type deal. I even kind of did it with the Browning like in 2021. I don't even know. One of those years, I pretty much didn't post like ever on any of my stuff on any of the Browning stuff because I was like, I don't want to post some random crap and then whenever I drop like random crap all the time, and that doesn't matter whenever I have this big thing planned and I'm just gonna come out with that big thing planned.
That's
It's much
actually
more
that's
yeah,
actually
it's way
really
better.
funny because when you dropped End of Existence, I was like, the Browning's back because I
Right.
thought like even I wasn't even in the Browning at the time, and this was even before me and Johnny really started talking. I was like the Browning like since when I didn't even know there was
Yeah.
I thought the Browning broke up as far as I was concerned. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so it gets people excited again because they're like, dang, I haven't heard anything about this band in like a year. It's like, yeah, because some bands don't want to post memes all the time. Some bands don't want to post selfies and stuff and keep up on social medias. They want to build up some hype, drop an album, do some touring, repeat. And so I think Bless the Fall is a band that has the status to be able to do that. And I think that's what this is leading to.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They
Yeah.
can come back and drop one song
Eh,
and be set for a couple years.
Yep.
That's the status that they're at. But
Definitely. And so yeah, the second news story that we're gonna get into is this one's a good one. That is that the Plot and You. I know we've talked a little bit about them in recent weeks. The Plot and You have now hit gold on their single for Feel Nothing. And I don't know, this is awesome. Like the Plot and You, anytime I think about them, I think about their early stuff. They were kind of a
oh yeah,
quirky, kind of, I don't know. I thought it was weird stuff.
I
Maybe
loved
not,
it.
but
Yeah,
huh?
it was definitely weird, but like weird in like a good way. Um, they were really good. I really love their old stuff, like
Yeah, and they were
premeditated,
having we
control.
we played some stuff with them, and like obviously all the bands back then were pretty small.
Mm,
And so when I think about them, I think about Landon with a shaved head doing
mm,
like these weird music videos and doing crazy vocals and stuff. And so that's what I think about. So seeing them get a gold record on a single now
yeah.
is crazy. Gold does equate to the way you get certified. There's a couple different ways, but for a single, it's 500,000 units sold. And so 500,000 units sold, but in the modern world, you don't sell 500,000 copies. The way they do it is they take the amount of streams, and an X amount of streams counts towards one sale. And I think that song has like 120 million streams on Spotify. So
Ooh, Oh, that's a, that's a lot.
And
That's a
and
lot.
that's crazy, and let me see what their second place song is, because that it just blew up, like, I I don't even remember how I randomly ran into their profile again,
Hmm.
but I was just like, "What?" I saw that song up there, I was like, "What are you talking about?" Oh, so, yeah, their number 1 song, "Feel Nothing," the one that just went gold, has 140,000,000 on Spotify. Their second song with the best or with the most streams is 10,000,000 after that.
Telling you, man, the power of the internet is crazy now more than ever. The power of social media. You know, you have TikTok platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels. It's powerful now, man.
And so, yeah, that's really good to hear, and it's really good to see a band that, was on the up and up for a lot of years, was kind of a middle of the package band for a long time. A lot of bands get stuck in that, and over COVID, these dudes now they're headline status, they're gold record. And the only other band I think I know of in our scene that has done that is maybe Motionless in White. I feel like I saw that, but I don't know if that's actually true. I know that Motionless in White had a number one rock song in the country, and so that's sick. But I don't even know if Motionless has hit gold. I think Plotting You might be the only metalcore band from our stuff that has hit gold.
Mm. Hey, that's crazy. That's awesome.
It's crazy,
That
absolutely
is.
crazy,
Yeah.
and it's good to see.
Yeah. It is good to see. Cause like now it's like we're like the scene is more into more getting into the mainstream media now, so we get noticed.
Well, and also you got to think about this too. Like when we were young, how we found bands, and then the bands that got hype from those outlets. Like how many bands got their careers based off of MySpace? A lot.
A lot. Yeah.
So we are hitting the modern world of how many bands are going to get their career off of TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, and many bands have. Um,
Mhm,
wow. Now that you say that, wow. Bad Omens.
mhm.
Now they get blew up on TikTok. Now they're selling
They're
out
headline
shows.
status.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah. So like that's a great like modern day social media is blowing up bands like
mhm.
MySpace was. I've never put that comparison, but that's good. I like that.
Yeah, and so it's good to see, and it's good to see people really paying off for it. So
That's right.
congrats to Plotting You. That's next level. That's it.
Yeah. And hey, if you're listening to this, put the Browning on your TikTok. Blow us up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, please, yeah.
Make us so we can get to that status where we don't know who you are. No, just kidding.
That's hashtag get the Browning gold.
There it is.
There it is.
Get the Browning platinum. We
Oh,
strive for more than gold. We want the top of the chain, baby.
exactly. Platinum. What is that? That's
Platinum.
probably like that has to be 1,000,000.
Hey,
Easy. We got that. Hey,
easy. Come on, we
hey,
get it. Hey.
hey, hey.
And
Sweet. Let's get into the last story of the week. This is one I don't think Keem cares too much about, but uh, anytime we talk about old bands, Keem's like, I don't want to talk about that. What are you talking about? I don't know. Metalcore's a little dry right now. We're getting towards the end of the year. There's, not a lot happening. People are
yeah,
chilling.
yeah,
And so we're going to talk about Anthrax, but this is heavy music news. This isn't metalcore news. This is heavy music news. Okay. And I have a little bit to say about this from a personal level. So Anthrax was, I'm doing air quotes for the people listening, forced to cancel festival due to, again, air quotes, issues out of their control. This is a pet peeve of mine a little bit because, like, it's such a cop out to say issues out of their control. Every band does it for every freaking reason. Like, if a band, Eskimo cancels a tour, it's issues out of their control. If they cancel a festival, it's issues out of their control. One time, the Browning, I've done one issues out of our control thing, and I'll tell you what it was for. And it was we showed up to a venue in Idaho
mm.
on tour, drove freaking like 10 hours to get there. Venue in Idaho, and it was in the lobby of a Mexican restaurant on the floor. And so, for issues out of our control,
Mm-hmm.
we were unable to play the show, and we freaking dipped.
Dang.
So it happens. And yes, technically, it was out of our control that we were playing a Mexican restaurant floor, but that was also in our control. We we chose to play that venue. You know, we agreed to certain things. We agreed to be there. I am hard pressed to think that Anthrax, one of the most legendary metal bands ever, is not in control of everything. They got money, they got people, they got everything. There's that specifically happened within the band that they're like, no, we're not doing that crap. We're not getting together. We're not going to this festival. I just think that the issues out of our control thing is such a cop out. I want to know the real reason. Anthrax, what happened? Tell us.
Yep.
Because even that, instead of saying issues out of control, say, hey, I don't know, our private jet crashed. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, tell us what it was.
Give us something. Yeah. Give us something to digest. Don't just
Yeah,
say issues
exactly.
out
And
of
the
our control.
issues out of control. What, you guys are arguing about something? Like, I don't know. What
Yeah.
is it? There's an actual reason, and there's no reason not to just say it.
Spitting
So,
facts. You're right.
yeah,
That's good. I like
gotta
that.
do it. Someone's got to spit the facts around
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, man. Yes.
um, yeah, a whole bunch of tours that are coming, that are being announced. A whole bunch of bands releasing new music. And you know, those things you can go on news sites and find those all day. But we are excited to be here every single Monday morning, talking to you guys about the stuff going on, talk about these hot topics. And so make sure you follow on all the platforms that you listen to, Spotify, YouTube, anything like that, so that you get your metal news every Monday morning. And we'll see you guys next week.
And we out this thing. Peace.
Peace.